as a little boy, I fell in love with juggling. And I fell in love with juggling by going to the circus. Go figure. I became so fascinated that I wanted to juggle until the day came to where I myself became a professional juggler. I was getting paid thousands of dollars doing a skill that, I spent a lot of time and effort in practicing and doing, but I took great pride in what I was doing. But at the same time, as a kid's pastor, I was close to my family, and life was just going great. I was doing something that I've always wanted to do. I was living my dream. Everything changed on May 31st, 2013. Life as I knew it came to an end. I was sitting at a red light on the highway behind another van, and I was rear-ended by a refrigerator box truck that was going full highway speed. On impact of the truck rear-ending me, my vehicle exploded. When the first responders came to the scene, they called it a fatality. They knew that no one could survive such a tragedy. But somehow or another, to their amazement, still to this day, they see my hand move. And because of that, they changed their plans. Whenever they got me out, they put me on the stretcher. They then life-flighted me to a hospital in Evansville, Indiana, and then immediately redirected me to the burn unit in Indianapolis, Indiana, where I was in a full coma, full life support for 3 weeks. I had broken vertebrae, I had all kinds of torn ligaments, but the most severe was the burn injuries. I had 3rd and 4th degree burns. And with these burns, they're going to leave tragic scars. The moment I began to understand the severity of my injuries was probably whenever I was in another hospital facility where I had to relearn to walk and use my hands again. And it was during that time, with the assistance of nurses, that I was able to stand up, and they had brought in a full body mirror. Whenever I looked into the mirror, I then began to see the effects that these burns had on my body, the scars, the deformed appearance of these scars. And when seeing that, my heart broke. It's a very emotional moment, because I knew that these scars were now permanent. They're now a part of who I am. And so, because of these injuries, it brought to me the question of, will I be able to juggle again? They wanted to, whenever I was in the unit, the surgeons were considering amputation for 3 of my fingers. And it was during that time my family stepped in and they said, do whatever you can to save his fingers. I still have my fingers. They don't have the mobility that they used to. But surprisingly enough, after a lot of sweat and tears, I was able to teach myself to juggle again. To me, relearning to walk was hard. Relearning to use my hands again, hold a pencil and sign my name again was hard. It was challenging. I had to relearn to do it all. But to me, I didn't feel like I would be Cody Burns until I could juggle again. To me, the juggling is what would top it all. The moment I began to juggle again, that's when I could start being myself again. As someone who started out, with a goal in mind of helping people, motivating and entertaining crowds of all ages, and getting all of a sudden knocked down by such a tragedy, one of the cool things is that I haven't allowed it to keep me down. I like to show people is that a scar in itself doesn't have to be a bad thing. It all depends on how you look at it. But a scar does become a bad thing when it limits your mobility in life. When a scar begins to prevent you from enjoying your life, then it becomes a problem.
Whatever has scarred you in your life, you can't change the past. What's done is done. Same way with me. I can't change what is done, but I can change what I'm doing tomorrow. I can change what I'm doing the next day.
I want to be able to help people with my story gain a new perspective on life and to help them change their attitude so that they can be a better student, a better parent, a better employee. With the right attitude, there is nothing that you can't accomplish.